All right, everybody, want to take a second to talk to you about an amazing sponsor. We have an amazing relationship with RayAllen.com. Ray Allen is a one-stop shop for everything dog, not just working dogs. Everything dog that you need, you can go down there, check them out, RayAllen.com. Awesome people. They got everything you need.
Another one of our favorite partnerships is with Dogtra. They've been with us from the start. Great collars, great ball poppers, great GPS tracking. Big dog, small dog, bark collars, everything. I got everything like that they have at the kennel. We use it every day. Be sure to head them up, dogtra.com. Listen for the discount code later in the episode.
Hey, guys, it's going to happen. August 16th through the 19th. HITS is coming back. The HITS Canine Conference in Orlando, Florida, August 16th through the 19th. Get on there. It's the biggest, the best. Check it out. HITScanine.net. HITScanine.net. Get registered now.
Take the guesswork out of making sure you're feeding your working dog correctly by using Kinetic Dog Food. Hit them up at kineticdogfood.com and look them up on the Instagrams at Kinetic Dog Food. Take all the guesswork out and do it right from the beginning.
We love Horizon Structures. Dude, this stuff is so awesome, man. You can get online. You can talk to them. You could build it you want from mild to wild. They'll come bring it to your place, set it down on your pad, hook up your power, hook up your water, and you can put dogs in it that day. If you don't believe me, check out some guys like Justin Rigney's got a great setup there. Ask him. Check him out, horizonstructures.com.
All right, we are back. Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite. I am Ted Summers from Tulsa, Oklahoma. As always, with me, as always, is Eric Stambro from Canton, Ohio. Eric, what's going on up there? Is it like you're getting blown away?
I can't, like I said, these mics are pretty awesome. They have a filter on it. Behind me in this window is like gale force winds and there's wind chimes down there. And that's all I can hear. It's wind chimes. But I did really learn something tonight. My windows suck. They're so drafty, dude. I'm freezing over here. So I'm going to save up some cash and we're going to have to get some new windows. I think it's bad. So yeah, just working dogs all day today. Worked. I have some dogs in the kennel that are getting tested by an agency on Monday. So we're Jordan and I are working them up, and then we started a dog named Scooby today. He's already been purchased. We started him on explosives, using the teaching the other dogs. By the way, using the tone avoidance system that I started using. I got a verbal out on 2 different dogs in one day today. So nice, easy, no conflict. It's crazy. It's insane. We talk about it on our Patreon page a bunch about using tone on the collars. It's for me, it's new. I've only been doing it for about a year. It's nuts. So other than that, just plugging away. I worked. So when I got done doing the training, I went and grabbed something to eat real quick, and then I go up to the pet facility and I worked doggy daycare for 2 hours.
How was that?
It was okay, man. It wasn't that bad. The girls back there have a real good system. I just went back to help them break. But what I did do is hijack the speaker that they have in there and started DJing. And I think the first song I played, I'm 52 years old, and I played a new Post Malone song and called Motley Crue, and immediately started. I know all the words. And one of the girls goes, "You're an interesting person." I didn't expect that.
You're an interesting person.
Yeah, interesting is a good way to put it. So anyways, that was it, man. Now I have 7 dogs in the kennel right now, and my wife is in Florida, left for a girls trip starting today. So 3 dogs at home, 7 in the kennel. I'm over it already. I just started back. I took October off because it's over the kennel. I'm back and I'm over it already. But whatever. It's the life. What's going on in Tulsa?
Winter's finally here. It's going to get below freezing, I think. So there's that. We've had a bunch of plumbers and the electricians at the facility the last couple of days getting some stuff done. We had a client drop off a Shar-Pei today, so that's fun. And
I haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, he's kind of spicy. And I'm finishing up a deer tracking dog. Not blood, but a deer tracking dog. She gets delivered tomorrow. It's fancy. If you're on Patreon, you've seen me do some tracking videos with her. She's a little wire-haired Griffin pointer, so it's like a German short-hair pointer with she's like fuzzy. Super cool dog. God damn it, she barks all the time. Wow. YS 600. But so other than that, I got some police dogs coming probably beginning of November. That's what it's going to look like. Well, we can get everything sorted and start those. I'm getting a single or 2 singles and a dual in. And then I've got 2 duals and a single I'm working right now. So we'll have 6. So we're busy for a show. Yeah. So other than that, more of the same. So what do we got going on tonight?
So those of you who listened to the last episode with Josh Hargis, it was heart-wrenching, tough. There was some pretty emotional stuff in there, and I was like, man, we need something uplifting and fun. And I'm always down to talk to handlers. And we've talked about this before. We don't get to talk to as many handlers as I would like, and as you would like. And mostly it's because of departmental, rules and stuff that they don't want to come on. And, we had Gary got in trouble, worthless handler, from talking to us. So guys, people are a little gun shy, but as long as they get permission, they do it right. And so we wanted to get a good handler on. And this is a person that we've both been friends, quote unquote, with on Instagram, if that's even a real thing. But we tend to get to meet a lot of these people, so it's really cool. Eventually. But we brought on a handler. A lot of you guys know him, probably. A lot of you follow his social media account. You might not know him. His name is Scott Lockerman. He's really super unimportant in the whole scheme of things when it comes to the situation with his dog. But dog handlers understand that, especially if you have a popular social media account, that it's about the dog and not about you. So coming to us all the way from the Kent County Sheriff's Office, which is in Maryland, is the Corporal Lockerman. I don't want to demote you to deputy or anything. So Corporal Lockerman, who handles Canine Loki. So what's up, buddy? How are you?
Doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing good. Thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss the opportunity.
So those of you probably follow, it's KCSO_Canine_Loki LOKI, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Again, anytime we get somebody who has a good, well-managed, well-represented Instagram account for their dog, I always tell handlers, go check out what he's doing and follow that example. You're not going to get in trouble if you do it the right way and follow the rules and do that. And guys just all of a sudden just start doing some dumb shit, man. And that's how they get themselves in trouble.
Unless you get banned like I did last 2 weeks.
Then you get, we'll get into that.
What I did. Still don't know what I did.
No. Yeah, you existed. So you and Loki have been together since 2018. You've been on the share. Well, we'll just start from, tell us where you're from, like where you grew up, what dogs you had, that type of stuff. We'll get into the whole thing.
All right. Well, originally I grew up in Middletown, Delaware, which is probably 30 minutes up the road from where I live in Maryland now. And we're right along. We're on what's considered the Eastern Shore, so it's right across from. It's just essentially across from Baltimore, on the Chesapeake Bay. So you have the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and it butts right up to next to Delaware. So grew up there. Went to a private school in Maryland. Actually, right where I live now, it's where my kids go. And met my wife there. Actually went to seminary for 5 years.
Wow.
Or 4 years, sorry. 5 years. Went for 4 years. Got my theology degree and my secondary, my minor in secondary English, so I could teach 7th through 12th grade. I was a youth pastor, an assistant pastor for about 5 years, and taught English in 7th through 12th grade for 5 years, and just wanted to get into something. I was a volunteer firefighter and loved serving the community, and never went into military. Wish I did. My dad was in the Navy. My grandfather was in the Army. Both my grandfathers were in the Army, and cousins in the military. Never really did any service like that, but kind of felt like it was a duty of mine to give back to my community, to give back to my state, and that's when I chose to go into law enforcement. Back in 2015 is when I started applying, and back then it was a tough row to try and get a position in any department. I was trying for Maryland State Police, And I was in their process for almost a year, and just they were kind of dragging their feet. And the sheriff's office came about, and I'd actually worked for dispatch, which I got to know most of the guys that I was working with. I was dispatching for them. So dispatched for about 6 months. The sheriff's office opened up, and I've been there since 2015. Went to police academy for 6 months, graduated from there. My 5-year goal, my 5-year plan was by five years, I want to be a canine handler. Literally wrote that down. And somebody once told me, you only write a 5-year plan, because anything after that, everything changes after 5 years, your goals, your aspirations, your visions. So don't get too far ahead of yourself. And within 4 years, I had the opportunity to promote to corporal and to be a canine handler, which is very rare, but I attest that to my work ethic. I get after it. Not trying to lock up people erroneously, but I try to get out there and stop people, DUIs, drug arrests, you name it. But that's who I am. So
That's awesome. Where was the seminary at? Where'd you go?
Crown College in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I spent 4 years in Knoxville, man. Tried to cheer for the UT Volunteers, and it was disheartening, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The Knox County Sheriff's Office, it's right there. I have 5 or 6 dogs on their department.
Okay.
That's who's coming up Monday to test dogs for me.
They're a good agency, man. Good agency.
20 dog team. And I like those guys a lot. I like them. I've been down there to place a couple times. It's a pretty good setup there. Justin Rigney is a big trainer. He's down that way. I've been down to visit him a few times. So I like that area. So when you were growing up, were you a dog guy? So like when I grew up, my parents, we had no dogs, none, 0. My mom was not a fan. So we never had any. How about you?
Yeah, we had a chocolate lab, basically bird dogs. We do a lot of hunting here, waterfowling. So labs, chocolate labs. We had a Cocker Spaniel. We had birds, rabbits, but that's about it. So had a chocolate lab, and then we had a Dalmatian, and that didn't go over so well. And we ended up getting rid of that and giving it to somebody else because of some issues with the dog. But that's about it. So
that's pretty good though. So how about this? The private school that your kids go to, that you went to, any stories about you floating around the halls? Is there still some administrators or teachers there? Like, your dad is who?
Yeah, no. I mean, they know that all my kids, all their fellow classmates know that, hey, their dad's a cop, their dad's a deputy sheriff, and not a whole lot. I worked as soon as I was in high school. I literally had to pay my way to go to school.
Yeah.
Trying to help my family out, but I was working, playing 4 sports a year, so I didn't really have time to get in a whole lot of trouble, thank God. But yeah, it's a great place. I mean, I obviously I send my kids there, so it was an opportunity that I was grateful that I had.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. It kind of circled back around like that.
Yeah.
So when you get on the department, how many dogs they have at that time?
So at the time when I got on the department, we only had 2 dogs. We're a small agency. We got about 383 square miles, 390 square miles roughly in the county, and probably another 150 of it is water.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 dogs, 4 shifts, 2 dogs. So you can see that there's a lot of disparity.
A lot of
between,
need, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what what brought about the change, but now we have a dog on every shift, and truly grateful for that. It's being involved in law enforcement, it's one community of its own, but then you get into canine, and it's like it's whole new family, and just the relationships, the trust, the familiarity and the camaraderie between canine handlers is amazing. So I thoroughly enjoy the fact that we have 4 dogs on our team. We have Loki. Obviously, we have Canine Tyson. He's a chocolate lab. He's trained in narcotics, article searches, and tracking. Mm-hmm. We have Canine Reds. He's fairly new. He's about 1.5 years, 2 years. I think this is his second year. He's a black lab with Corporal Trinks. And then we have Canine 𝗔𝗡𝗄, who is a 10 and a half, almost 11-year-old German Shepherd who's still going strong and still riding out with DFC 𝗢𝗙 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘. She's our only bite dog, by the way. So that's another thing. Maryland's getting away from that. I know a lot of agencies are avoiding. That's what we've been shying away from, the pointy ear dogs, because they look intimidating to the community, but they're definitely an asset to have in different situations and different scenarios.
It's an interesting point. I literally just had a conversation with the administrator the other day about that for a correctional facility, and he wanted them, but the administrators are like, well, aren't they? And they're a single person. Oh, they're just they want contraband, and so all the normal stuff plus some extra goodies. And I'm like, well, I mean, if they're super social, pointy-eared German Shepherds, and they're like, well, aren't they intimidating? I'm like, come on, it's in a correctional facility, like, and they're not in there like using them to mess with prisoners or inmates or anything. And like, it's not like we're like, we're not teaching them to do that. That's not why they're in there. And they're like, oh, how does it look? And I'm like you have a dog? I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. So yeah, and then there are other places in the country, Florida, where they get upset about them using a dog, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna get another one, and it's gonna be worse than the one before. They're like, so we'll just get another one, we'll bite everybody. So it's an interesting to see, because like, yeah, Maryland, and I think New Jersey's another one where they're starting to get
ready to do with all of them.
Yeah, that ought to be interesting to see how that plays out. What's his name up there, Eric? Joe Nick. Is that his name? The vendor that's up there that's been freaking ever. So I should probably text him and ask him how that's going, because I had some rumblings of that, and I'm like, that should be interesting to see how it plays out. So, so you got Loki like 3 years ago. Where did he come from?
He came from a handler in Caldwell, Idaho. My not my master trainer, my trainer, Mark Carr with Tidewater Strategic. He's a former deputy himself with the county that is next to us, Queen Anne's County. He's retired, and he's full-time doing training. He trains I think there's about 17 or 18 dogs that we train with between different agencies. Found Loki and called the sheriff, said, hey, I got a dog. Does Lockerman have a preference as to what color? And I was like, no, I just want a dog. Doesn't matter. Kind of wish I could take that back now, because we have black uniforms and the yellow hair on my uniform is just, it's crazy trying to keep it clean. But besides that, he's been nothing but good, man. So
yeah, I have a yellow lab sitting right here on my bed, and we call her Yellow. Her name is Jessie. We call her Yellow Dog. Yellow hair everywhere, buddy.
Day shift is the worst. So I don't know if I'm sure you guys know this. It's not the heat that gets the dog to shed. It's the exposure to sunlight. And I'm a night shift guy. I'd rather work night shift all night long. But day shifts, man, I tell you, I could clean this kennel out 2-3 times a day, and it's still full of hair.
You hear that, Jesse? You're not going outside anymore.
Living in a fucking cave. So you guys get him from Idaho, and he was green when you got him?
So he spent 6 months with my handler or my trainer, and then the next 6 months we worked together before we even tried certification. So Mark, I'm not exactly sure, because I'm pretty sure they flew him out here, and that's when Mark found him. He got him when he was a year old, and worked with him for about 6 months. Got him in, I want to say January, February. By June or July when I got him. So he wasn't green, I think.
Yeah, when you got him, he's already trained up. Is Maryland a legal weed state?
In what aspect? So it's considered under 10 grams is considered a civil infraction.
Mm-hmm. So is he a weed dog then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Good.
All of our dogs are. All of our dogs are. I mean, and that's going to become an issue probably in the near future. I see it being legalized here soon. I mean, it's decriminalized. It's not, and that's what everybody's. It's still legal. It's legal now. I'm like, no, it's not legal. It's decriminalized. Big difference.
I had that conversation yesterday with somebody with an admin, and they're like, "Oh, it's legal because Oklahoma, it's medical." And they're like, "It's legal." I'm like, "No, it's regulated." There's a huge difference. Like I can send my 5-year-old niece into a convenience store to buy Gatorade. That's legal. She can't go in and buy cigarettes, and she can't go in and buy alcohol or marijuana, or she can't go in and fill a prescription by herself because it's
Right.
regulated. Huge difference. And they're like, well, that's just semantics. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you think lawyers do? I'm like, yeah, I know that, but it's not like legal.
Right.
So even if when it becomes legal, it'll still just, I mean, it's still going to be 21 or 18 or whatever it is. But
Right.
So when you get Loki, what was kind of your expectation, or I wouldn't say expectation, of preconceived notion about going through training with a dog that, and I ask this because a lot of times we get people that go through training with us and they're like, this is a lot harder than I thought. I honestly thought you would give me the dog on a leash and they just do it all.
Yeah. So my notions weren't necessarily what you're thinking. My notion was, hey, I got a yellow lab. This is great. I grew up with labs. I know what they do. I don't have a bite dog, so I don't have to worry about that aspect. And I don't have to concern myself with case law in that area too much, so I don't have a whole lot to worry about. And the main thing that I struggled with was his demeanor. I don't know if you know this or not, but we're following him along on Instagram. You know, always show pictures of him smiling and running around doing things. But when I got him from my trainer, I picked him up from his house and everything was cool. Took him to Tractor Supply to get all the necessities that a dog would need and a canine handler would need. And as soon as he hit the dividing doors, he just kind of shut down and lost it. Had no social interaction with anybody but his owner in Caldwell, Idaho, which is in the middle of nowhere. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but the only other social interaction he had with somebody was when his owner took him to the vet. And it was just like crippling almost to me to realize I got this dog, I got a lab that is this social, perceived dog. And here he is. He doesn't like people. He's scared. He's intimidated. I mean, the AC man showed up one day to fix my AC and went to pet Loki. Loki threw up.
No,
So,
oh my God.
HITS Canine Training Conference. This is America's premier canine training seminar, packed to the brim with the world's best instructors and me and Eric, all covering important topics. There's no better place to learn and no better place to network with other handlers, breeders, and trainers. HITS 2022 is being held in Orlando, Florida this year, August 16th through the 19th. And I know how you guys are. Everybody waits at the last minute. And in the post-Rona world, everybody's training budgets are being cut and everybody's deciding whether they're going to be able to get to go or not. So don't wait, because they're not going to have an infinite number of spots, and the price goes up after a certain date. So get signed up as soon as possible. It's in Orlando. We'll see you there. Be sure to hit them up. HITS Canine, letter K, number 9.net.
One of the best relationships we have in this podcast and in this industry is with the great people down at Kinetic Dog Food. The story of Kinetic Performance Dog Food is pretty simple. They wanted to make a better premium dog food for the dogs that need it the most. Their goal is to give every working and sporting dog a higher energy level, better performance, and better overall health through superior nutrition. So they formulated a line of food based on what they considered to be the optimal profile of a performance dog. They've done tons of research on this. This isn't their first rodeo. These guys know what they're doing. If you're a kennel, they will come to your kennel. They will see the problems that you have. They will check out what works for the dogs that you have. They're amazing people to work with. They drop ship a pallet right to you if you want. I know a lot of guys that use them. There's a bunch of different formulas on there, and 32K might not be for your dogs. Maybe the 26K works. They can adjust it. They'll give you the right ideas what to do in different parts of the year. Winter's different than summer. It's really a well-run, good dog food company. KineticDogFood.com. Be sure to check them out on social media too, man. They're amazing folks. KineticDogFood.com.
By now, you've probably all heard my story at least once. I'm usually getting tagged by dogs or hurting myself. So this next product is like near and dear to me because I actually use it. Quick Turn by Vet Care. It does great for keeping small things from turning into big ones. I use it at the kennel for clients' dogs that have some issues with skin stuff or have food allergies or have environmental allergies. It works great. Keeps hot spots from making giant hot spots. And it keeps my working dogs, who inevitably find magnificent ways to hurt themselves, from turning it into a giant vet visit. Stops little issues from becoming big ones. So it comes in a spray, it comes in an ointment, it comes in a dressing. It's great for creating a protective barrier and promoting wound healing. You really only have to use it like once a day. So there's no reason not to have it in the vehicle. Since it's temperature stable, you don't got to worry about it getting hot, getting cold, or anything like that. So put it in your first aid kit or put it in your cabinet. Vetcare.us on the internet, Quick Derm by Vetcare on on Instagram and on Facebook, and then hit them up with the discount code 10WDR for 10% off your first order. Next up comes training courses online from our friends down at Highland Canine Training, Jason and Aaron Ferguson. So in the post-Rona world, training budgets have been getting cut. People aren't going to be able to travel, whether it be instructors or they be canine handlers and supervisors going somewhere else for training. So Highland has announced a lot of online training courses. One of those that sticks out to me is their police supervisor canine course. And it's no secret that one of the problems with canine tends to be some of the supervision issues. This course is specifically designed for administrators and covers utilization as well as liability and FLSA issues. The course can be taken at your convenience, and you'll receive a certificate of completion at the end. When you go to Tactical Police Canine Training, that's letter K number 9, training.com, and use the discount code WDR30, you'll get 30% off of that course.
All right, everybody, we are back from the break. Here's a funny little story, guys. So we're going along with this interview. We're going to finish one little story and then take our first break. And the internet gods decided to cut us off. So here we are. We were talking about Loki, who somebody reached over to pet him and puked. He's got some social anxiety, and Scott was saying, continue where you were at with that, based off of your size.
So we were talking about just difficulties as a new handler. The main thing was trying to, not trip and fall over things while I'm watching my dog and watching where I'm going. You're scanning a car or you're scanning any area and you're walking with the dog in front of you. You're pretty much walking backwards. That was about it. But learning to read the dog. But like I said, it was real easy with him. His behavior change is just, it's easy. He's more of an independent working dog, which is great, which I just let him go, does his thing. And sometimes I got to learn how to just get out of the way and let him do it and know when not to, when he needs some help. And that's basically the main things I struggle with at the beginning was, does he need help? Do I need to help him, or should I just let him do his own thing? So. Yeah,
that's, there's 150 handlers listening to this right now going, me too. Same thing.
There's another 150 that don't know it either.
Right, yeah. they don't know when they need to stay out.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of his way.
Sook, search.
He's got giant ears. He heard you the first time.
So what does it look like? You're talking about when you can tell when he's in odor versus, or when he's working versus like maybe he's nervous about something. What does that look like? What's that picture look like?
His ears go back when he's, got anxiety, but his ears go forward. His tail, he'll walk around with his tail between his legs. Sometimes that's just how he is, but it wags 100 times a minute. And just his body, the tail wag goes all the way up to his neck. And
he's allowed.
His main thing is, listening to his breathing, breathing and behavior change. But he's on point, man. I can't say. I'm grateful that I was paired with him, because as a new handler, I couldn't have asked for a better dog, to be honest with you. Our tracking could use some work, and we work on it and stuff like that. Keeping his nose that was another thing. So keeping his nose to the seams of a vehicle were probably one of the most, one of the things we struggle with at the beginning. So getting him to learn, hey, I got to be, right there. And so the same thing with tracking, trying to keep his nose on the ground. He likes to cheat and keep his, head up and air scent a lot of times, which is not necessarily what we want him to do, but we've worked at it. We got him certified, which was probably the second most stressful thing in my career, was trying to get him certified for tracking.
So 300 some square miles that you guys have, that's not a small area for you guys,
I think we're the second smallest county in the state of Maryland.
Well, that's all. that's all relative, but in Ohio, that's a huge county.
Yeah.
They're not that big. Have you been called out with them for tracking, like missing kids or an older person or something?
Not caught up for tracking. We've been called out to do scans for vehicles and stuff like that. So
yeah, because I'll be honest with you, when you're that first time you do it, the tracking of a felon who just ran from a pursuit or something like that, you get out and you get going, you're doing your thing, but tracking for a missing kid or something like that is so nerve-wracking. I always felt it was like, man, what if I blow this? And something, that happens. It can be stressful, but I assume you guys have a lot of rural area.
Yeah, a lot of woods, farmland, creeks and stuff like that. So it gets pretty messy. There's been one track that we had. We try not to use him for violent felon, crimes such as armed robberies, but literally I was within probably a quarter mile of an armed robbery that took place. We tracked the guy to the parking lot where he got in the car and left, which, as just nose dogs, we don't get a whole lot of training as to what we're doing when we're tracking a violent felon, as opposed to a bite dog. But, we had 3 guys with us. I had another guy. Luckily, I had another guy who had a patrol dog. The dog passed away, so he was there with me, helping me, just taking care of the scene and watching down range and making sure we don't miss anything. So you're a team, and I didn't know what he was going to do because tracking's not necessarily his forte. I mean, he's certified in it, but he does much better at drug work, narcotics. But he tracked outside the back door where the guy left. They found the guy later, and the guy said, that's exactly what happened. I got in the car right where you left, and that was it.
So you guys get the dog, your trainer brings him, you guys then have a lot of work together to do, reading him, learning him, going through his idiosyncrasies and some, like you were talking about the seams issues and all other stuff. You get him done, you get certified, out on the road. What's the first find that you get with him?
So the first find was actually a call out. It was probably 10 grams of fentanyl, just straight fentanyl. And not a whole lot, but there's a couple other incentives that were involved with that stop. So I can't go into detail about that, but definitely felt good to see, hey, found some stuff, and a lot of incentives came along with that. So,
yeah, that's awesome, man. I like to hear that stuff. So in that area that you're in Maryland, what is the drug over there? Like in Canton, where I'm at, it's crack. It always has been, and always will be.
So we're close to Baltimore. It's mainly fentanyl, fentanyl and heroin. But we have a lot of issues with, cocaine, just like everybody else. But the main thing is overdoses with fentanyl and heroin. Not a whole lot of meth, so we don't see a whole lot of that.
That's because it's all here.
It's all in Oklahoma.
It's
all in Oklahoma,
Maryland. So I have friends that work in one of my buddies actually worked here. He went and worked down in Broward County now. So he says he's dealing with that all the time, PCP and meth. And every once in a while we get some LSD, and not us personally, but we find it.
Oh, lucky you.
And it's just crazy because it's just a lot of times they don't know how to test for it, so it comes back inconclusive. Mm-hmm. But you know what it is without trying.
Right? Yeah, the old lick it test from back in the day on TV.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah, in Canton, Ohio's, different parts have different things, but in Canton, I was on the drug thing for a long time. I had dual purpose drug dogs and everything. Never found PCP, LSD, very little heroin at the time when I was doing it. It was all cocaine and no meth. Never found meth at all. Kilos of crack. And then we had a weird thing for a while. We had ecstasy blowing through when I was in the dope unit, and I did a couple big ecstasy busts. But then when I got out and became a full-time trainer, then heroin blew up, right? And then, so apparently everyone in Canton got sick of dying, and now it's back to crack. But if you go 20 minutes north to Akron, in the area that Akron's in, it's meth, like massive amounts of meth, 20 minutes away. It's really strange.
Definitely.
Who did we have on that, like you mentioned the taste test? Who did we have on that tasted somebody's, or did somebody else tell me that story where they tasted somebody's mom's ashes?
Oh my God. What? I don't remember that.
You haven't heard this? You didn't? Yeah, somebody on the podcast told this story where they pulled this
I remember hearing about this, but I don't know.
And
who
this
it
guy was like, he didn't speak English very well. And he kept saying cremora, which is like it's a white powder substance. They thought it was crack or cocaine. And the cremora is like a creamer or something. And they're like, this guy's like, this isn't creamer. He tasted it. And they're like, no, it's stupid. He's telling you that those are ashes, and it was like in the glove box. This dude had his dead mom in the glove box. So they tasted it, and they're like,
what?
I don't remember who it was. Oh no, it was George. I'm sorry, it's my buddy George down in Florida, who has a dog named Brando, and I don't think it was him. It was somebody he was working for or something. That's where I remember that story. You said it, I was like, this fuck,
George. What?
He didn't do it.
Oh. Yeah, man, that was, if you grew up watching Miami Vice, you were licking cocaine to chest it all the time. But
no,
so you guys, for you guys in your canine unit with the labs and everything, sounds like you got a big focus on the narcotic stuff. Do any of you do work with the task force or do parcels or anything like that?
So we have an allied agency that mainly has a task force dog. So none of us, I mean, we'll work with them from time to time, but most of the time they have their own dog.
Yeah.
So
parcels are sweet, man.
We actually had a guy do one about 2 weeks ago at the post office. So that was the first probably time that I've actually seen it done while I've been there.
Was it a good one?
No. I mean, It wasn't anything. It wasn't what they thought it was. So
you got to get in FedEx, man. That's where it's at. FedEx.
Yeah. It was UPS.
DHL.
Yeah.
DHL too. DHL is a good one.
So, how does you guys' shift work? Are you on one shift for the whole year? You guys rotate? How does that work?
No, so we do. It's a 2-3, rotating 12s. So we do like this weekend. We're Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're night shift. We're off Monday, Tuesday. Go back to night shift Wednesday, Thursday night, and off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we start day shift on Monday, Tuesday, and back to a weekend day shift. So, how
does he do with that?
He's fine. He loves to go to work, man. It's like my wife will tell you. It's just as soon as we get the uniform on, I get ready to go to work. He's just jumping at the door to get out, and that's what I love about him. He's ready to go. He
doesn't show any of that anxiety stuff in the car.
No. It used to be on the road when we first got him on the road. It was like, oh crap, what are we doing here? While we out on the side of the road scanning these cars, people, he would watch people before scanning the car and he just focused on them. But now it's like game on, man. Mm-hmm. Out the door, here we go, scanning the car, getting back in.
That's cool. Is he what kind of reward does he do?
So he is I use Canine Ops Smoky ball, just a ball and tug, and we've been using that from day one because just a ball, any ball and rope he goes nuts for. He's like Kongs, don't care. Tugs, he just chews them up and that's about it. But the ball and rope, man, he's like a psycho.
I trained a lab like that went up to our buddies at Dark Horse Canine up in Albany County Sheriff's Office in New York. What the hell was that dog's name? Cruz Lab. And I could hit him in the face with a Kong, but God bless. He would bite you if you had a fucking tennis ball in your hand. Yeah. He would bite you to get it and like bite you. And so he's Ed and Ken did a great job with him. He's out tearing people up now or ruining people's days anyway. So we're going to go ahead and take our second break real quick. So don't fast forward through the commercials. I don't know the discount codes, so you have to listen. Don't inbox me and ask me what they are. They're in the show notes, so we put all of them there. But yeah, don't fast forward through the commercials. We'll be back in a second.
All right, we love the Perkinsons down in North Carolina at Highland Canine Training. They are great people, great trainers. They got a good business model. They're awesome folks. We've been with them for a long time. They're also super smart, and they understand that a lot of agencies are struggling to have manpower, so they're not sending people away for training. You guys have been there. You know, you put in, denied, lack of manpower. So they've created an online course section of their website, tacticalpolicecaninetraining.com. You get on there under training, the online course. But here's the best thing is they offer a canine supervisor course, which we know a lot of police canine supervisors don't get to go to training. They don't know as much as they should. Right here online, the course discusses topics such as proper selection of dogs and handlers, proper deployment, effective allocation and utilization, as well as liability and the FLSA issues, which we know is where all the legal stuff comes from, interdepartmental. The course can be taken at your convenience, and you will receive a certificate of completion at the end. They're offering an amazing discount, guys. 30% off using the discount code WDR30. It's a no-brainer. If you're a police supervisor and you guys have manpower issues and you can't go, get on tacticalpolicecaninetraining.com under the training tab. Get on that supervisor's course, man. I'm telling you, it's a smart decision.
Another one of our favorite partnerships with the podcast here is the one and only Dogtra. The Dogtra guys have been producing some amazing tools in the dog training world for a long time. Everything from e-collars, GPS tracking, ball trainers. If it's electric and you use it with a dog, they've probably done it. They're the best. They are revolutionizing the way you communicate with the dog. I use it daily, whether I'm using pets. I use the 200C on most of our pets. Most of my patrol guys will use a 1900 hands-free, 1900S hands-free, and then I use the ball popper pretty much daily with all of our detection dogs for imprinting on our box protocols. So hit them up at Dogtra Official on Instagram and Facebook, and then you've got dogtra.com. And when you go there, if you use the discount code WDR10, they give you 10% off a single item over $200. So if you're looking at a 1900S or that Ball Popper Pro or one of those things, it'll knock a substantial chunk off there. So hit them up, doctor.com, WDR10.
So everybody knows that Ted and I not only train police dogs, we train pet dogs, right? We train dogs. So it's why our relationship with Ray Allen Manufacturing is so important. These guys have been doing this so long. They knew and they understand that dogs are dogs, and it's not just working dog people that need things for their dog and dog training. So you go to rayallen.com. They have everything dog related that you need. Anything that when it comes to dogs, pet dogs, your pet, training dogs, police dogs, dogs you're training for other departments, anything you need, rayallen.com. They've got it. You can get on there. So if you're ordering stuff for police dogs, and if you have a pet side, you can get it all in one, man. They ship it out. Got a nice big box full of a whole bunch of stuff. There's nothing better than getting a big box of dog training stuff in the mail. They also are great to us, and they offer a discount code Working Dog Radio, all capital letters, Working Dog Radio, for 10% off. Check them out, rayallen.com. Great people. Ted and I use them every day. So our first and oldest sponsor that's been with us from the beginning is Arno out at ALM, out there in Las Vegas area. Arno is a great dude. He makes great stuff for police work and sport work, suits, tugs. I'm telling you right now, his tugs are the best in the business. You can't get any better. Multiple colors. I buy boxes of them from him and give them out to everybody. I've got a bite suit from him. Love it. I've had it for a little over 3 years, and it's holding up like a champ. Ted's got a suit that he's had forever from ALM. We wouldn't go anywhere else, man. We love it. Arno is such a good dude. His ALMcanineequipment.com is the website. Get on there. He's got pre-made suits. He can do custom suits based on your measurements. He's got stuff already made up. If you kind of get a kind of generic large size, maybe for everybody, the colors he has, man, is really cool. He can put a lot of stuff on those suits. Check him out, ALMcanineequipment.com, and use the discount code WD Radio for 10% off.
You know, running a kennel is one of those things that I always worry about, is cleanliness and safety of dogs. And it seems like it's an ever-changing issue, being able to house dogs and move things around, everything else. So the guys at Horizon Structure make this as easy as possible. Literally, the only thing you have to do is have water and power hookups, and they deliver it, and you can put dogs in that day. And comes on a trailer. They just drop it off. You plug it in, put dogs in it, and you're ready to rock. You keep them clean, you keep them safe, you keep them cool in the summer and warm in the wintertime. And it's completely custom. You can go complete mild to wild. I've seen some that were stainless steel all the way from top to bottom on the inside. And then I've seen some for a bulldog breeder that, you know, had smaller gates because those things can't jump. So if you reach out to them, they're sitting there waiting for you to call and help you through the custom design process. They have everything from 2-dog ones up to, I want to say like 18 or 20. It's a lot of, you can put a lot of dogs, indoor, outdoor runs. So anything you've ever dreamed of, they've got it, have done it, or can do it. So they've taken all the guesswork out of building it. Everything is pre-done to your specifications and it's assembled, dropped off, boom, you're ready to rock. Things are amazing. Rigney has one. We've had him on the show a couple of times. Go check out his Instagram, and you can see he's posted it up there before. Go look Horizon up at Horizon Structures, spelled out. On the internet, it's horizonstructures.com, and you're going to look for the link in there that says commercial dog kennels, or give them a call, 888-447-4337. They'd love to talk to you and get you started on the way. All right, we are back. Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite with Scott Lockerman, and he's Loki's chauffeur. So, so you guys had your first good find with fentanyl. What predominantly? I mean, how often are you guys well, I guess as a unit, you don't have to give me specifics for the dog, but how often is that unit getting utilized a week? Like, I mean. And you guys, I assume, are probably finding quite a bit where you're at.
I mean, it varies, but like, dude, for 2020, they shut us down, man. They didn't want us doing anything, and just trying to keep each other safe because we're such a small agency. And if one of us gets sick, we're all going to feel that. So, I mean, we were still scanning cars. I still stopping cars, trying to use discretion, But I mean, we're finding it on the regular. It's not uncommon. Most of it, I don't know. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's called scramble. So it's like it's like what they cut cocaine with. They mix it with anything, but they'll mix the heroin with fentanyl. And I'm not sure if you saw the body cam video of that deputy out in California who touched the fentanyl, and it's just, we don't even, if we find it, we package it. We don't even open it and test it, man. It's not even worth it. So, yeah, it's pretty scary stuff because you think about it, you're like, man, I keep naloxone in my car for me, I keep naloxone in my car for other people, but I also keep some in there for Loki because I never know. He goes in a car. We try not to send him in a car to scan cars, but it's dangerous. And there's car fentanyl now, which is even 10 times stronger, and it just blows your mind about how these people just regularly take this stuff and what it does to their bodies. And, somebody like me or you touch it and we never had it before, and it just incapacitates us completely.
Yeah. And that's the thing with some of the certifying bodies, one of which, you deal with. I disagree completely with their style of putting dogs inside cars for that exact reason.
Yeah, we actually stopped that this year. They made it, I guess you say, owner's discretion, handler's discretion, trainer's discretion. So we're no longer sending dogs in cars. I mean, we still do it in training in a controlled environment, obviously, just to get some more reps in and find that. But we're putting him in a car. I had an issue with him. Not an issue. It was a good thing, but it became an issue. Stopped the guy for speed and get up there, smell weed. I'm like, I'm going to use my dog, and pull the guy out, go to scan the car, and Loki literally jumps in the front window. Like, he's scanning around the car and jumps in the front window, ends up scratching the guy's car, and found the weed sitting in the front seat. It was like 15 grams. I didn't have a scale on me at all. So I was like, look, dude, I'm going to write you a speeding ticket and cut you loose. He came back and wanted to complain about scratching the car. I'm like, dude, here's your criminal citation for the weed, when he came back to write the complaint. So, but, he goes to source. So, we try to tell them, hey, put your windows up, get out of the vehicle, shut the car off. And that's just something I had to be a little bit more mindful of. And especially now, if you don't even know what's in the vehicle.
Yeah, man. So I want to jump over to social media. Like I said, we have never met, but I follow your stuff. You follow my stuff on Instagram. I will say this: a couple of the pictures, your dog has a pretty good resting bitch face when he wants it. Like he just
Yeah,
just chilling in the
everyday
back.
face though. That's his
Yeah,
everyday
right.
face.
So how did you gain, like, how did you get momentum on your following? Was there, it's like for me, for example, when I was at my old department, our 501c3, the Police Canine Association, we had, I don't know, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 followers, something like that, maybe a little bit more than that. And then we had a dog get shot and killed. And then we had 50,000 followers in a day.
Yeah.
And I hope that never happens to people, but how did you grow it? And what's kind of your strategy in that?
So my basic strategy: find some good friends, network. Just like running an organization, running a foundation, which we just started our own foundation, and we wouldn't have never started it if we didn't, number one, have people that have needs in this state for canines, and if two, I didn't know anybody else that had a foundation to learn from, to sit back, to listen. I picked the brains of a few people: Sal, Capital Canine, Canines of Valor, 𝗢𝗙 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘, Georgia Police Canine Foundation. They're all people that definitely have been influential. Canine Viragi, Jamie and Corey Heron, I'm sure you're familiar with them. Being in Ohio, those, I'm telling you, man, she's like my mom, like my Instagram mom, and love those people to death. And you just getting around people, finding events, not trying to gain followers, but trying to gain some accolade, some clout with people. People like I haven't really done anything, but like Osaki, Eric Larson, coming and taking our pictures.
Oh yeah,
taking pictures of Loki and then tagging 50 million different people that have 100,000 followers on their accounts, and you get a bunch of followers. And I'm pretty sure that's why we got shut down for a couple weeks. We were working night shift like 3 weekends ago, and Sunday night I went home with I think we had like 500 followers within 2 hours. I'm like, dude, this is not good, because you know how the algorithms work with Instagram. They're going to shut you down. And that's sure enough, that's pretty much what happened. I woke up Monday morning and my account was deactivated. So, I told somebody today, they were like, man, I went back to the dojo this week or this month and got back into jiu-jitsu. And one of the guys there, he's like, man, you got quite a few followers on your account. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I started this account as just like, a joke, not necessarily a joke, but just something stupid, silly, fun to do. And just, make a profession where we deal with a lot of crazy stuff, and a profession where we deal with a lot of, anxiety, depression, stress, and make just some, good content out of it if you can. And that's where it went. And just the constant networking with people. And it's nothing I've done. It's just the people that I've associated with, and I give it all to them and give them all the recognition. And they're good people too.
Do you was it tough to navigate the departmental stuff?
I try not to. I've actually been the sheriff actually, I went and asked him, I said, hey, can I start an Instagram account? And he literally told me, he's like, what's Instagram?
Yeah, I knew that.
Perfect. He was still familiar with Facebook.
Yeah.
And, but I'm not sure if you're like me or not, but I just get sick and tired of dealing with all the stuff on Facebook. I don't have to deal with people saying stuff. I just look at pictures. Your Instagram feeds off of what you are a part of. And I wake up every morning and I see dogs and handlers, and that's just a better environment. But, yeah, I've gotten praise from him. Hey, you're doing a stand-up job. I don't want to do anything to bring any bad light to the department. I use it to not only promote me, but promote our dogs, promote our canine handlers. Canine Tyson is a chocolate lab, and I'm telling you, dude, that dog is just straight on point. Finding missing vulnerable adults over and over again, and finding a couple people that his drug work is outstanding too. But that dog is on point with tracking. Just a good dog. Zora, I love her to death, man. We just had an incident with her. She swallowed a Nerf dart from one of Mike's kids, and they had to have emergency surgery. Luckily, and she's 10, and we're like, what are we going to do with her? Are we going to, retire? And got her back to health. Thank for people like Canines of Valor for providing funds for that and helping out with that. And, just you see the results of networking with people. And there's a lot of people out here that want nothing but to do good. And if you look at law enforcement and say it's all negative, I could prove you wrong in a heartbeat and just show you certain people. And especially the canine realm, it's like I said, it's a totally different family. Law enforcement is one thing, but canine family inside that law enforcement is a top-notch thing.
Yeah, and everybody you mentioned before, Kyle and all the guys, everybody involved in the foundations and the fundraising, they're good people. I've talked to most of them, met with a lot of them. Their hearts are always in the right place of what they're trying to do. And it's not just for them; it's for whoever needs it.
Right.
I know. The Georgia Police Canine Foundation. Obviously, it says Georgia Police Canine. He's helped guys from a lot of other places and people that have nothing to do with that foundation. They're not in his training group. I've gone down there a couple times and trained with them, and it's been, mostly the same guys, and that's awesome and that's cool. But he turned us on to an interview of a guy who's not anywhere near them. It's in Georgia, but when you do things right, you can really help some people, influence. We all know this, and we see this on the internet and everything like this. How many guys in departments will not fund anything. They will not pay, will not help anything you want to do with that dog or training or anything. They just won't pay for it. So having money is power as far as not needing to ask,
Right.
for anything. It takes away some argument from some haters that are like, nope, canine's too expensive. Not really. We haven't come to you for a dime for, X
Right.
amount of whatever. But it's funny because one of my guys, Mike, he's going to teach at Blue Line, and his topic is going to be getting your 501c3 going and how to raise funds to support your unit through your community and through online stuff. So, is your foundation up and running? You got your 501c3?
Yeah, it's up and running. We're working on getting our website up. It's Maryland Police Canine Foundation. And
that's awesome.
We're young. We got one dog that we're working on getting a vest right now. We have a dog that died in the line of duty about 3 months ago. I'm not sure when this is going to air, but we're surprising the handler with a commemorative, I think it's a 56-inch by 48-inch flag with dogs engraved on the flag. And just doing stuff like that and trying to develop, we're on the Eastern Shore, so trying to develop some relationships with people on the Western Shore where, the city is, which they deal with a lot of stuff that we don't deal with. Fortunately, on the shore here, it's very pro-police and people really back us. But, you get into Baltimore and the city and stuff like that, and they're cutting the funding of Baltimore City PD. They're trying to take away the officers and all that stuff. So you can only imagine what we're trying to deal with here in the state of Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland and Virginia are very similar in that they're like three different states, in like because of DC.
Yep.
See how, by the way, look at my hands. Look, Ted, look. We're sitting here and I scratched something on my leg and I look down. I'm like, oh my God, I'm bleeding to death.
Holy shit.
Look at it. Look at it. So anyways, so I didn't want to be using hand gestures and people going, did he kill someone before this aired?
What happened?
But yeah, you have like very rural areas, and then closer to the flagpole, it's a whole different group of people and it's a whole different mindset and mentality. And then you get out on the shores are different. It's a lot of people aren't kind of used to that. Ohio's got rural and cities and things, but it's not politically different or that demographically different than a lot of other places. So
man, not here.
Right.
Oklahoma is its own shit show. Our governor, just National Guard, just told the DOD that they weren't going to enforce the vaccine mandate. The Brigadier General was like, we're not going to do that. And DOD, I guess, is like, you do what? And like, they don't know how to answer. The DOD representative was like, will respond in an appropriate manner. I'm like, you guys have no idea. We have a long history of doing that whole real ID thing. I still don't have a real ID.
We started that here too.
Yeah, I
mean,
just got mine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it literally just became available here, and I'm like, I mean, it's a whole thing here. Like Oklahoma has a long, multi-generational history of telling the feds to pound sand.
Yeah. That's funny. So going back, like I said, if you go look at your Instagram, if you guys are trying to do it right, to take a look and see what he's got. There's several people out there that are doing. Do you have TikTok?
We do. I don't get on it near as much just because it's.
You listen, dude. Let me tell you something. If I fucking see you dancing on TikTok,
Nope,
you fucking dog, while you're working, there's calls for service waiting, and guys are fucking dancing on TikTok, I will never speak to you again.
You will not see me dancing. I might sing, but that's about it.
I saw somebody the other day, I'm not going to say who, showing a side-by-side with another guy dancing with their fucking dogs. Who did it better? I just sent a barf face. That's what I posted as my response. A puke face. Knock it off. TikTok jerk-offs.
It's cops.
I just alienated half the people on here.
Yeah. They actually have a page for that, Cops of TikTok, and it's not good.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
But my guys at my department, you know, they kind of rub it in, and they're like, we need to make a drop down in our call for service box for TikToks. I'm like, dude, I don't make a whole lot while we're working, you know?
Yeah. Damn it. What's the 10 code for that?
Right.
I'm looking.
So right now, if somebody's listening and wants to like jump in on this, the Maryland canine stuff, are you open for business? Can you take donations from people?
So the great part about it is we're actually under an umbrella of another of a charity organization. So I don't have to handle any of the money, which is great. It goes right to them. I get all the paperwork. They oversee that, keeps the money out of my hands. Nobody can accuse me of doing anything.
Nope.
Pay a small fee, but the money goes to the dogs, and it has to be approved by the board on the chair. So we're kind of working together. Mm-hmm. And it's great, but a lot of accountability, and that's what I like. I don't want to see anything. You know, I learned that from Kyle, specifically Kyle's. You know, just accountability, mm-hmm. and that's the kind
every
of man
dime. I am. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect at all. You know, I'm not an angel. You know,
you're not an accountant.
No, but you know,
yeah.
I want to do what's right, and I do want to do what's right by others. So.
Mm-hmm. So if somebody listened to this and said, I live in Maryland, I'd like to help them out. Where do they go right now?
You can go to Maryland Police Canine Foundation on Instagram. We also have a Facebook page. There's a donate button on there. It goes right to the foundation, Chesapeake Charities. And you could donate whatever you want there. You could also donate money by going to, can I give a plug?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Shot Fox
Please
and Hound.
do.
We have a Shot Fox and Hound. And while here, you got the Canine Loki candle.
Ooh,
nice.
Wait.
It's an awesome
smell like yellow dog?
Palisander. No.
Okay.
No. It smells like vomit. No.
Right.
It smells like vomit and tennis balls.
Yeah, just pet him and hold a jar.
Yeah, Shot Fox and Hound has been another great organization to work with. Every $5 to $10 of that candle goes to the foundation.
Wow.
They send it right to the charity after a quarter. And then Emma
that's a huge
Canine,
percentage, dude.
Yeah,
it's
a big help.
Yeah.
So we're still young, so we're getting things ready to do fundraisers and go different places. I'd like to have a tent up at Blue Line, but it's just right now this year it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Are you going to go though?
Yeah, I'm going. Bringing the dog. Actually supposed to be giving a social media lecture. So that should be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
have you ever done it? Have you ever taught in front of a bunch of people?
Oh yeah,
okay. Oh, that's right. You were
going
to school for it. Never mind.
Pastor. Yeah. So yeah, I've preached.
Yeah, you've done it.
And it helps public speaking, and all that. But Emma Loves Canines is another one. They have a Loki plushie, and the portions of that go to the foundation as well. So
that's cool.
A lot of ways.
Ted and I'll be teaching at Blue Line. It'll be nice to meet up with you and
to catch up for dinner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go out, hang out.
I'm not going to stand next to you for a while because I'm 5'8".
You told me
really
you were 6'1".
shows when a 6'4" dude. Every time we take a picture with anybody, people are like, Eric's a midget. I'm like, 5'8's not a midget. Just everybody else is you freaks, you giant.
Like
Yeah.
Scott and like him and what's the Doberman's handler, Ed Soros.
Ed,
He's like 9 feet tall too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a
guy.
big kid for sure.
Yeah, and he's in jiu-jitsu. That's a lot of person to roll with, both of you.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool, man. I like to see that things are working good. And do you think this is the number of dogs you guys have right now is about where you're at for a bit?
I'm actually looking to get another one. You mean at the agency or personally?
No, agency. Oh no, we're going to talk about that here in a second. I'm talking about the agency.
Yeah, we're not going to probably get another dog. We're probably, just to replace Zora when she retires, but that's about it. We're probably going to have 4 dogs on the ship, which is
okay.
It works out that well that way.
Yeah. So, what's going on at your house, dude? You have do you have a kennel license for your house?
Not yet. Not yet, but we're working on that. But so I have before I got into Canine, I actually bought a German Shepherd as a family pet. Not thinking that I would get Canine right away, and lo and behold, here's another yellow lab coming in the door. And then we thought it'd be great to have a female. So we got one female, and then we got another female, and then we actually just had a litter of pups, and we kept one of the males. So we have 4 German Shepherds, a black lab, and then Loki. So it's busy around here. And 3
4
kids.
German Shepherds. I told him I could hear the whining from here, from his house. not through the microphone, from your house.
Yeah, all the way in Ohio. Yeah. Whoa.
And did you just say you're getting another one?
Yeah, we want an all black female. I love an all black Shepherd. It's just very intimidating. And
oh yeah,
we were hoping for one out of this last litter, but we had all black with tan socks, which are pretty and pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too, but want an all black Shepherd.
Do your research, man. Like really look around, because on the pet side of the business, we train more German Shepherds than any dog is what we get.
Yep.
And the black ones that we get are either really good dogs or horrible. There's no in between.
Yep.
So
I trained
around.
I trained a 16-week-old little one for our puppy program. Her name was Sassy, and she was 100% named correctly. She's a nice dog. And I think the family's actually rehoming her because she does not need to be doing what she's doing right now. I'll put it that way. She's a nice dog, but
I worked one on the street, a black Shepherd, and he was nuts, and he was huge and very scary to everybody. But yeah, they're good looking dogs, man. We got a couple of them in the training program right now, and right now they're the ones we have are real good. It's been 50-50, so make sure you take a look around. There's probably a lot of good breeders around you, but do your due diligence on that. So, all right, man. So it looks like Blue Line it is.
That's where we'll be.
Ted likes Coors Light, and I'll drink almost anything. So
that's no shame in my game.
Right.
It's fine with me.
But I think we're going to try to, we're definitely going to bring our stuff and do some interviews. They usually give us a room to get some good, little interviews. We set up everything so we don't have to keep moving around. And I think we're going to try to get a booth there maybe so people can stop by. And it's easier that actually for us to be in one spot and meet everybody that we'd like to meet,
So Joe,
because otherwise, Alicia will tell you, Ted and I are like herding cats. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
Like she's like, we have an interview. She has to come find us. Let's go. I'm like, I have a handler. So it was just nice.
So Joe from Blue Line is actually my master trainer. So he comes.
Oh, is he?
Oh, nice.
He comes down and certifies us every year. He's a great.
Pocono Joe.
So what's it like standing next to him?
I'm not going to talk about it. Right. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah,
I love
Ted.
Joe.
He's got a pass tracking.
I love it.
What are you doing?
He's got a pass tracking. And and his current dog is fucking huge too. I saw a picture. I'm like, really? Like, that's the one you picked out. Like, did you pick that dog? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
He's going the opposite of every other second time handler.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, Joe's good dude, man. They're good people.
Yeah.
Very good people.
Well, really, man, thanks for coming on. Give a plug on that Instagram again.
Absolutely. It's KCSO_Canine Loki. KCSO_Canine_Loki. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But give us a follow. Give us a follow, Maryland Police Canine Foundation. Follow us on Facebook for Maryland Police Canine Foundation. And anything you give would definitely it's a tax donation, so it's right off to Chesapeake Charities, and it's going forward to invest in dogs, taking care of retired dogs, and then supplying things for dogs that die in the line of duty and their handlers. So that's definitely what we want to do, and we want to give back to our state and our community.
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna get on here when we're done and follow that foundation. Ted, where are you at?
Ted_Summers on Instagram, and then Torchlight Pets and Torchlight Canine, letter K number 9 on Instagram, and then working_dog_radio, just like Scott's. All the words are separated by underscores for the podcast. We're all going on like 4 years now, and you figure as many times I can say that. So, and then, and you're where?
Just go to Van S Canine on Instagram. It's just going to be the what everybody here likes to watch. I've been putting a lot of stuff up lately. I kind of changed up some of the things I've done with experimenting with the police canine dogs, and I'm getting them like fully done on all their obedience in 3 days. It's insane. And they're killing it. They absolutely love it. Today we did no obedience. Today was fun shit Thursday. And it was just all bite work and just playing and, having fun with toys and stuff like that. And I did teach them an out though. So, but it worked out real well. So anyways, man, Scott, we're glad to have you on, man. I really appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go feed those 900 dogs you got in the house. I'm sure it's about time. So
yep.
Your wife's a saint apparently. So
she is. She's going to have a huge mansion in heaven, I believe. So.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
All right, man. Good to see you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Take care. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.